Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and this is going to be my 30k subscriber special. I just wanted to say thank you all so much for the support and just the immense amount of growth that my channel has been experiencing for the past couple of weeks. I've been kind of stuck. I would say ever since I left MapleStory, I was around 22k subs, and I've been slowly but surely crawling up to about the 25k point. And while I was growing, it was just at a pace that I wasn't too happy about. And I felt like I wasn't really getting anywhere, but then all of a sudden, in late January, one of my videos, my Why No One Plays Kindred video, apparently from what people said has been caught by the algorithm and started getting recommended to a whole bunch of people. A lot of people watched that video, and then they started watching my other videos, and it started this chain snowball domino effect of people watching all of my videos and then subscribing. I've had a huge boost in my channel's growth, going from about like 6,000 to 7,000 views a day to almost 100,000 in a single day, which is amazing. And right now, as I'm recording this video, I'm sitting at close to 32,000, so I guess it's going to continue growing for however long it continues to. I'm actually not sure. Honestly, I'm a little incredulous about this, because while I'm really happy to see this kind of growth, I've also never grown this fast. I've been doing YouTube ever since like 2012. I did make a channel before this. This is my second channel. First one's no longer here anymore. But I've always had more of like a slow and steady kind of growth. I never really shot up and went viral. So it's a first time experience for me, and I'm trying to make sure that I don't change the type of content I make or the type of person that I am. I'm trying to make sure that this doesn't get to my head, but I really do appreciate all of you guys appreciating my content, I guess. And I'll do my best to make more. So in celebration for this special, I'm going to be doing a Q&A for this video. So a couple of days ago, I put up a community post telling you guys to ask me pretty much anything you want that I think is appropriate to ask. So I'm going to be answering that, and then the 3 questions that I like the most will be giving away gift cards. So 3 $10 gift cards to my 3 favorite questions, and that's sort of how I like to do my giveaways or my subscriber specials, just by making a Q&A, and then whoever asks the most interesting question or the question that tugs at me the most, you get a little reward for it. So I suppose we'll get started. I'll try to answer as many questions as possible. There's about 47 comments. I don't think I can get to all of them because I don't want the video to go too long, but I suppose I can choose whichever ones can help you get to know me a little bit more. So the first one is from West Basic. What's different from making MapleStory videos to League videos? Did you have to adjust the style of how you made the videos? Also, do you miss the days of making MapleStory videos? So that's a lot of questions, but I guess to answer the first one, the main difference between MapleStory and League is, I would say, the production quality. It takes significantly more time and effort to make a single League of Legends video than a MapleStory video, and it's mostly because either a mixture of my own standards and the production quality I want to see in my videos, but also just because with League I have to do research, then I have to write the script. A script can take anywhere between 3,000 to 4,000 words. It's like a 10-page essay. And then I have to collect footage, then I have to edit, I have to record my script, and then I have to edit the audio down to make sure I get rid of all the pauses, all the blurbs. That's why in all of my videos you never hear me stutter or say because I spend a lot of time working on that. I would say apart from the big long videos like the training guides and the top 5s I did for MapleStory, I went from about maybe 2 hours per video to 8 to 10 hours of production time per video. And for a time, I was only doing it out of my love for making content. But now, you guys have shown me that this could be a viable source of income. I never want to do YouTube specifically for money. In fact, even now, as I'm seeing the sheer growth of my channel and the potential growth that I'll see in the future, I still would like to get a job in the real world, just because, the stability. Being a YouTuber is fun, it's great, a wonderful opportunity, but it's also not a very consistent opportunity. You could explode the very next day and your channel just gets completely demonetized. So I'm gonna stick to mostly how I'm doing right now. Do I miss MapleStory videos? Yes, I do. Just because it was a lot less taxing on the work effort. I used to be able to do daily uploads, but I can't really do that with League of Legends unless I hire an editor. But the thing is, most professional, good quality editors nowadays, they charge about anywhere between, I would say, $100 to $300 per video. My earnings have definitely increased dramatically, but it's not at a point where I can afford to take that expense. So I'm still doing everything by myself. But one day in the future, if I could find someone else to do the editing for me, that'd be wonderful, because then I could spend more time working on making scripts, and then the more taxing components of video making I can delegate to someone else. Next question, who would win in a fight? One of every Pokemon or 1 billion lions? That is a lot of lions, yes. I would say purely Pokemon, just because, you know, if the Pokédex entries are true, every time Entei roars, a volcano erupts, or Rayquaza can destroy planets with Hyper Beam. Or we have, there's also Dialga, Palkia, and Arceus and Giratina who control existence itself. Then there's also, I feel like the legendary Pokemon, if there were no legendary Pokemon, if it was just like Charizard, Blastoise, Kangaskhan, Arcanine, Torterra, Garchomp, Dragonite, those kinds of Pokemon, then I would probably say billion lions, because there are only like 900 or so Pokemon versus a billion lions. But if we bring in the legendaries, they can destroy an entire planet. So I guess without legendaries, lions would win. With legendaries, Pokemon would win. So next question is, when you consistently say in your Why No One Plays videos that you're a game designer, what game company am I working for? Full disclosure, I am not actually a professional game designer, not yet anyway. I am technically, if I were to be specific, an aspiring game designer in that I study undergraduate. I'm currently a senior, a fourth year student. So I'm not exactly out there yet. I will be soon. But I personally believe that there's no such thing as aspiring. You either are or you're not. Now the thing with me is that I could be a terrible game designer because I have no formal professional experience, but I am still a game designer nonetheless. That's why I say that I'm a game designer, because when I see someone say an aspiring game designer, I feel like that's kind of contradicting to, well, not contradicting, but I feel like that's an incorrect way to say it, because, when you say I'm a tennis player, right? Let's say you play tennis. You consider yourself a tennis player, right? You're either a good tennis player or a bad tennis player, but you're still a tennis player. So that's why I consider myself a game designer, because while I may not have any formal experience in the field, I still study it, I still look into it, and so therefore my credibility may be dubious at best, but I would like to believe that I have the same, legitimacy as someone else. I have made games with my classmates and also made game projects on my own, and I spent a lot of time studying with my professors. So I would say that lends some form of credence to my opinions. I guess to answer your question, no, I'm not working for any game company, but I would like to work for an indie company that has a game that I can see myself working for. I would love to work for, I guess my reach or my dream job right out the gate would be working at Riot Games, but that's a tough company to get into, and I don't think I'll be able to get into it for a while until I get some actual experience. So I guess any indie company that has a game that I really believe in and appreciate and pays decently well. Next question, or there's two questions. The first one is, what do you think about Riot's balancing in general? And the second question is, do you think Riot should do more to some very low play rate champions? It would be interesting to hear, because I'm sure you have an interesting opinion because of the Why No One Plays series. Thank you. And do you have any specific ideas, like in the Sivir video? And you have specific ideas, I think. You said sorry for bad English. Your English is perfectly fine, the last sentence was a little hard to figure out. Do I think Riot should do more to some very low play rate champions? It depends, because not every champion out of the 150 or so champions out there can have a play rate of 10%, 15%. That's just impossible. There will be champions that will be obscure because you have to balance out 100% across 155 different champions. So it's difficult to say. I think it depends on why that champion is not very popular, because you could have some very, very good champions with very intricate designs and very, complex and immersive gameplay that a lot of players are just not really appreciating too much because of a certain factor or a certain aspect of their gameplay that is hurting, their popularity. But for certain champions, like for example, Zillion, or I guess even Kindred to some extent, and a few others, I think their gameplay is fine. I think players just don't like that champion in general because they're just not the kind of ideal champion that people want to play, whether it's because they're too hard or too unorthodox. But then there are some champions with just inherently badly designed gameplay like Callista that need to be worked on because there's just so many things wrong with it on a fundamental level. But what do I think about Riot's balancing team? Yeah, let's just say 200 years. Forget 200 years, 300 years, let's just say that. Alright, next question. From Generic X, what do you usually do on the daily? Just your usual life. YouTube sounds like a time-demanding job. It is, depending on the type of content you make, depending on how much content you release in a week or so. I have settled for making 2 to 3 videos a week. I think that's a sustainable schedule, and I would say that spends about 20-ish hours a week. It's like a part-time job, which means that if I do get a job in the foreseeable future, I can still make videos on a consistent basis because it's sort of like tacking in. If I work 40 hours a week, I can throw in another 20 because video editing is fun. Some cases not really. I mean, it depends on the day. There are some days where I'm really motivated and I want to make a video, and other days where I'm doing it just because I have to, or I just want to keep the routine, the discipline. As for what do I usually do on the daily and my usual life, right now, because of quarantine, wake up, I eat breakfast, and I play some games just to relax into the morning. And then there are some days I work out twice a week. I hit up the gym. I go to a personal training center, so I have a personal trainer and stuff like that. He's helped me a ton, been sort of like a mentor and a friend to me, and has been definitely getting me into shape. I've been working out for about 3-ish years so far, but ever since joining his gym about a year ago, it's definitely taken me way past any point that I thought I could achieve. And I definitely see the gains. I'm not going to show my gains because they're not quite there yet, but they're definitely working. Aside from that, I like to read and I like to watch YouTube, but I spend a lot of time reading because I do enjoy reading. I know, it's kind of rare to find a gamer who actually reads. I spend a great deal of time playing games. I am still in school. I'm in my last semester, but in all honesty, I kind of checked out mentally. I have senioritis. I'm just trying to do enough to keep my GPA where it is, and then I'll graduate in the spring and hopefully again find a job. But in terms of a day-to-day, I don't really do too many interesting things aside from working out and working on a video. I could spend more time making videos, but I also don't want to burn myself out because having done daily uploads for a month or 2 months at a time in the past, I burn out very quickly. So I'm trying to keep it nice and easy, even though my channel's growing a lot and my first instinct is to make a bunch of videos to capitalize. I am trying to hold myself back, let it run its course because I don't want to run myself ragged just because I'm super excited. Next question. Oh my goodness, I spent so much time answering a single question that it's up to we're at 15 minutes right now. I'll try my best to cut off all the parts where I stutter, but I don't think I can get to everybody. I'll try to be a little bit faster. Next question is, how tall are you? How has height impacted your life? I am 5'8". I'm also Asian, so I would say I'm about average for my ethnicity, I guess. Has height impacted my life? I mean, I wish I could be a little taller. I'd like to be 5'10", 5'11", but I make up for that by being in good shape. You see someone who's not very tall, but they're nice and fit, they got nice and toned, they got a lot of definition. It's still very attractive, generally speaking. So no, height doesn't impact my life. I wish I could be taller, who doesn't? But I'm happy where I am. I don't let it bother me. I don't lose sleep at night over it. Next question. When you first saw League, how did it catch your eyes? And do you think you'll make YouTube or Twitch a full-time job? Why or why not? I joined League in late 2015. I thought it was fun. At first, I've heard about it for about 3 years, but I didn't think it was that interesting because I liked MapleStory a lot at the time. But I think the main thing about League is that it's competitive. Whereas in single-player games, there's no real rush to want to get better, except for your own personal motivation. In League of Legends, the drive to want to be better than other people can be both a positive and negative motivator for some people. And for me, it's a really engaging game. If we take the toxic community outside, it's a geniusly designed game. A single map that you can play over and over and over and over and over and over again without getting bored, that's like a recipe for success that you see only once in a generation. So it's a great game. Just the people who play it, myself included, they're not that great. Do I think I'll make YouTube and Twitch a full-time job? I'd love to. It's a dream of mine to be able to do this full-time. However, I am privy to all of the pitfalls and the red flags and the traps that can spring out of making this a full-time career, because there's no job security. In the entertainment industry, you're basically the same as a celebrity. One day you can become super famous and make in millions of dollars, and the next day you can be completely obscure and no one will remember you. Even if I do make a lot of money from this, I would like to keep it as a part-time job, up until the point where YouTube/Twitch or content creation in general makes double what my living expenses would be. So if I would like to live a $50,000 a year lifestyle, I would need to make $100,000 from YouTube or Twitch to consider it safe enough for me to, let's say, quit my day job and work on completely, because I just want to make sure that I put my future first. I just don't want to be in a situation where, let's say I do YouTube and Twitch for like 2 years and I don't work, I just make all my money through this, and then let's say my channel gets taken down or something happens. Let's say I just stop making money or I don't enjoy YouTube anymore. I went 2 years without any experience in the workforce. Like, how am I going to get a job? So for me, I never want this to be something that will destroy my life. It can be a very big improvement to my life. Like, let's say I work a job and I make $60K a year, and then YouTube makes me another $40K a year. That's great. That's an awesome side hustle. It's a damn good side hustle. But I don't think I'll ever put this as my forefront, because being a content creator while having it as a career is a dream of mine. It's also not a life goal. I still want to become a game designer, and I want to become a writer and an author. So this is more of a personal hobby, I guess. If it makes me a lot of money, that's great. If it doesn't, well, at least I have a good time watching videos and making videos. Yeah, this video is gonna go kind of long. I'm sorry about that. If you're not interested in watching, you can feel free to click off. If I get to your question and I like it, I'll send you a DM. Join me on Discord, by the way, if you ask the question, because I will be sending a DM on Discord. I'm gonna try to avoid League of Legends gameplay related questions, just because I feel like you can ask me that anytime. I want this Q&A to be more of like a personal thing, so I guess we'll skip over the gameplay related questions just to save time. How do you feel with the change from being a MapleStory player to a League of Legends player? I never changed. I played MapleStory and League in tandem from 2015 to 2019. So I've always been both. I just don't play MapleStory anymore. Next question from Angel Corvalin. Is there any game release that you're wanting so badly, and how is your creative process? How did your creative process change from the start until now? So any game release that I'm looking forward to in the future right now, I don't think there's any. I mean, I want the Sinnoh remix for Pokemon, but given the problems that came up with Pokemon Sword and Shield, I'm cautious about whether or not they're going to make a great sequel or if they're going to ruin the game. But I would like to see Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum remix in the near future. And in terms of my creative process, I already kind of answered that in the beginning of the video about sort of the difference between making MapleStory videos and League. So I would say it changed a lot. How's it like to work on your YouTube channel for so many years and then finally get the recognition in the form of views, subs, etc.? As I mentioned, I'm still kind of a little incredulous, because I always thought that, I always wanted to be one of the big ones. I always wanted to be 100K subs, 1 million subs. But after making YouTube for 7-8 years, I just sort of gradually realized that maybe I might just be average. It also largely depends on the type of content you make, your target audience, and things like that. And given that MapleStory is such a niche, it's a really small viewer base. League of Legends is a little bit bigger, but it's also hyper saturated. There's a ton of content creators out there. So I just thought that I would never stand out. And I wanted YouTube to be something that I can be proud of, right? So I expressed that through my content. Even if I got only 500 views, I wanted every video to be something where I could be like, hey, check out this video that I made. It's really awesome. I think you'll enjoy it. If I were to open up a little bit more about this, 2020 was a difficult year for me. It was difficult for a lot of us, but for me, it was hard because I felt like I wasted my college years. I didn't really do anything too specific that I could go out there and be like, yeah, look what I pulled off. And I came into college in 2017. Feeling really confident in myself. I thought I was a really good person in terms of achievements, accomplishments. I thought I had a lot going for me. But after realizing there were so many of my classmates and peers who were 10 times the person I was, like already self-taught programmers, already self-taught engineers, already super smart people with tons of medals and trophies and awards and projects and ambitions, that it made me feel really insecure about myself. And I was like determined to make my YouTube channel something that I could put like on my wall above the fireplace and be like, this is what I accomplished when I was a teenager. And I know that getting 20K subs or even 10K or 5K subs is no small feat. I think it's something like 99% of all content creators have less than 1,000 subs. So the first 1,000 is like the hardest one to get. But for me, I just always wanted to be again in the 100Ks and the 1 millions. I started losing hope. that I would ever get that far, because I had to go out in the world soon. I'm graduating college and I can't just sit at home and play video games all day. I have to take care of myself, I gotta pay the bills, gotta make ends meet. Not gonna lie, I actually was really close to thinking like, yeah, this was a failure, I didn't get anything out of it, but lo and behold, in January, I got my channel's big break. It's starting to grow a lot, like insanely so. I would show you guys the numbers right now, but I don't want to reveal too much personal information. But let's just say that based on just my earnings for the past week and my viewership, like I can predict myself reaching 100k subs by the end of the year, which is insane. I made a joke post on either Twitter or YouTube community tab that my New Year's resolution for 2021 was to get 100k subs. I meant that as a joke, but after seeing what happened, I got like almost 1 million views in a week and 6k subs in a week or something ridiculous like that. That actually just might be a possible goal. I don't want to get my hopes up too much because this could just be a one-hit wonder and I go back to just being a nobody, but I just want to say thank you, because it's been a long time since I've had something like this happen. And the best part is that while I've had growth spurts in my channels over the past, they were always because of something else, because of hype, like if I started making videos on a different game or if there was something that was really trending at the time. But this was my own work, as in I didn't abuse any hype, I didn't try to make a lot of clickbaity stuff, I just worked hard on my videos, and it just feels good to know that all that waiting finally is paying off. I guess I'm just really thankful that I still have time, that this still can work, that it's not too late for me to do something great with this channel. There's a lot of emotional attachment to this, and I'm sorry for getting too sentimental, but it's just, this means a lot to me. This is sort of everything I've done from 12 years old to now almost 22. And now I finally feel like I can show this to people. Let's say if I ever have a job interview or something, they say, hey, what do you do for your own creative hobby? Like, what do you do on the side? I could show them this with a big smile on my face and say, this is what I do and I'm really proud of it. So I have you guys to thank for that, and I'll do my best to continue producing a lot of good content. Don't hesitate to criticize me, by the way. If you think I made a video poorly, if you can give a good explanation why, then I'd love to receive it to work on more videos in the future in a better way. Okay, so I spent a lot of time on that question, but it was a very important one. Next question, would you remember me when I'm gonna be famous? As long as you don't change your profile picture. I think that's a pretty recognizable profile picture. So next question, when will I start the JRPG Let's Plays? Whenever there's a good one. I mean, I always loved Let's Plays, I like to watch them a lot, but I don't think that that's the kind of content I want to make for my channel. Maybe if I have a second channel, I can post content about that, but I do enjoy JRPGs. Next question, how long have I been playing League? What's my peak? So I've been playing League for about almost 6 years now, and I peaked Diamond 1 in Season 8. Diamond 1 Master Promos, I got to Master Promos, I won 2 games and I lost 3, it was a terrible time. Then in Season 9 I peaked Diamond 2, Season 10 I peaked Diamond 2, Season 11 I haven't tried yet, I'm still in the process of getting my accounts all back to Diamond. Yeah, I would say that I'm a good player. I'm not a great one. I'm definitely not a challenger or anything like that, but I would say that I definitely know what I'm talking about when it comes to gameplay mechanics, at least in the top lane. All ranged top laners can die in a hole, please. Alright, next question. Pepperoni or cheese? Just answer that question. Pepperoni pizza, please. Next question. Do you ever plan to return to Realm of the Mad God? Do you still follow the game's development? Your content there was among the best for the game. Thank you, I really appreciate that. I don't want to make any promises. I can't guarantee that I'll come back to the game. Well, I might play the game. As for making videos, I think I'm just fully settled into making League of Legends and Genshin videos for the time being, because that's where my core audience is. So I'm sorry to say, but I probably won't return to the game just because, again, it's a very small audience and I don't think it's that worth my time to grow for my channel. But I do enjoy playing it every now and then. Okay, next question. Congrats on hitting 30k, you deserve it. Thank you so much. Now, these are my questions. What other games do you play besides Genshin Impact and League of Legends? And also, what are your goals for this channel now that you hit 30k? PS, love your content. Thank you. So, as of right now, I play 2 other gacha games. One is Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, which is something I just play for a little bit. I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan. At least now I am. I didn't play it back then too much because I was too young to play all the older games. The other gacha game I will not disclose what it is, for personal reasons. Those who are close to me and my friends will know what I'm talking about, and I ask you very kindly to shut up and not reveal what it is. I also play Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. It frustrates me to hell, but I love it. And just, I guess recently I've also been playing Fire Emblem games again. It's sort of like an on and off rotation, like I spend 3 months playing Minecraft and then after that I go on like a Pokemon nostalgia trip and then I go on a Final Fantasy nostalgia trip. I mostly stick to League and Genshin on a regular basis, but every now and then I pick up something else. I enjoy RPGs a lot. I don't really enjoy horror or like action games. Well, sometimes I do enjoy action. Not a first-person shooter fan though. Never really got into it. Next question. What's your favorite game to play and why? Don't make me pick. Don't make me pick. Oh, there's so many. So many good ones. They don't make games like they used to, I tell you. But I would say one of my favorite games of all time would have to have been MapleStory. MapleStory was the highlight of my childhood. It soured a lot for me. The experience and the memories got a lot worse as time went on, especially in the late teenage years. But back in, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2013, stuff like that, I still think back on those days really fondly. I miss them. Next question. If you had to make a top 5 of your favorite game... Damn it, I literally just... I'm sorry, Audrey. I'll figure... Okay, the top 5 games... really, I can't pick. There's so many good ones. Yeah, I'm just gonna skip that question because I'm gonna regret my choices since there's too many of them. But the next part of the question is, how did these games impact you positively? For me, I never had a hard time making friends. I'm introverted and I'm also a dork, but I'm not like super awkward. I can talk to people and I can make good conversation, and I've never had a hard time socializing with people. The hard part for me is getting past the introductions. I would say though that one big thing when it came to video games is that it just introduced me to people from different backgrounds, because I had a very sheltered and privileged upbringing, and I will never take that for granted ever, and I'm forever grateful for just the blessed childhood that I had. But for the most part, the people I interacted with in school and stuff, they were all really fake. Materialistic people, a lot of people who they were more concerned about what was on sale at the local Gucci store. No, it's not that rich, but basically there weren't too many good quality friends. But with video games, it allowed me an opportunity to see people from all different places on Earth. People in Korea, people in Europe, people in Australia, people in Africa, people in the Middle East, people in South America, people in Central America, North America, all the continents except Antarctica. I just got to know more about it through my little cage, my little bubble. And that's how I spend most of my time, learning more there is to know about the world. And I've taken that curiosity and I brought it through other things, such as experiencing things, traveling, reading. And I guess it just helped me nurture my sense of curiosity, and that's what helped me, I guess, be the kind of curious person that I am today. Next question, is YouTube your full-time job? And if not, what's your main job that I work at? I'm a student, so technically I'm unemployed. But with YouTube, does YouTube count as being self-employed? I think so. Actually, I don't know. I mean, I do get taxed. I have to file a tax form every year for my earnings. But I don't know if that's considered employment or if that's just like a side hustle. So I guess for the time being, YouTube is my part-time job. So while other people would be doing retail, they get a job at like a retail store, or they would get a job at like an apprenticeship or something, or an internship. For me, YouTube is my source of income, and it's pretty good. Well, it's great now, it's amazing now, but even before my channel got a whole influx of viewers and subscribers, I would make enough money every month to pay for all of my leisure time. So all the money I spent on video games was all because of YouTube. So I had quite a bit of disposable income to work with, except that it would just go all the way to zero. Now I'm saving a lot of money just because I can't spend recklessly anymore. Again, soon I'm going to be going out in the world and I have to pay my bills, so building a good amount of savings just to make sure that I have a nice safety cushion to sit on. And yeah. Next question, what's my favorite Pokemon? So for me, I have a pair. My two favorite Pokemon of all time would have to be Latios and Latias. I love them. They're cool. They're strong. I would love to have them to fly around and just sit and chat, I guess. But I love those too. They're great. The evolutions are also nice. And of course, probably would have to be Vanillux, ice cream Pokemon. Next question, Recycling Bin. How are you today? I'm doing great, thank you for asking. For today, let's see. So in the morning I woke up, I played some League. We lost, but then I had lunch. And then I helped my mom and my aunt make kimchi. Then after that I played Smash Bros. And I rage quit on that. Maybe actually it wasn't such a good day. No, I'm kidding, it was a good day. Yesterday was awesome though. Yeah, yesterday I had a really solid workout, and then after that my cousins came over and we had dinner. Then after that I watched John Wick with my parents because I got them into it. We watched John Wick 1 and 2, and we're gonna watch the third one soon. I already watched the movies, but they haven't yet, and they're really enjoying it. Alright, we're at the bottom of the list, finally. So let's see, we'll pick one more question. If you could be the lead champion designer in Riot for a day, what changes would you make on the champions? Could be whatever on whoever champion. Also, is full balance among all champions possible? So I will answer the second question first. Is full balance among all the champions possible? No. And it shouldn't be. If a game is perfectly balanced in League of Legends, where every champion was on equal footing and had exactly the same thing, I actually think it would make for an extremely boring game. Because while some people argue that it opens the door for skill to be the determining factor between two players, having a disadvantage be overpowered by a person's efforts or by a person's mechanical outplay or knowledge of the game is way more exciting to play and to watch. Because if you think about it, let's look at Super Smash Bros. Obviously there are very strong characters and very weak ones. The cool thing about that is whenever you see a low tier character like Ganondorf beat a high tier character like Fox, it's amazing, it's super fun to watch. If you see two jokers fighting at each other, right? Even if one of those players was better, it's not really that amazing to watch if you just watch Dittos all the time, every time. But if you see a lower tier character do better than a higher tier character, it is just so much more exciting to watch and also to play as. Imagine if you played someone really weak right now, or like a counter matchup. Let's say you play Ahri and you're up against Yasuo. Yasuo is a notorious counter for Ahri, but you still beat his ass. That is the most satisfying feeling in your life, right? Or if you play, I don't know, let's say you play Mordekaiser and you're up against Vayne Top and you beat her ass. That sense of satisfaction you get from destroying someone who should be destroying you, I feel like would not exist if a game was perfectly balanced. Now as for if I could be a lead champion designer and Riot for a day, what changes would I make on a champion? I would make Renekton do 100% max health true damage, and I would also make it so that only I had that bonus. No, I'm kidding. I would nerf Camille to the ground. I would literally bury her 6 feet under. I hate that champion. I would also delete Tahm Kench. I would delete Teemo. I would delete Vayne. I would delete, let's see, who else is it? I would delete Yuumi and Zoe. Oh, so many. There's so many things I could do. I would just get rid of all the... No, I'm kidding. I would say that I would probably buff certain champions, more specifically champions that I like to play, because who wouldn't have a secret personal agenda for that? I would also like to rework. Probably, if I could choose a champion to rework, maybe rework Nocturne. I had a fancy idea for him. Nocturne's pretty cool. Okay, so that's all the questions. We are at almost 40 minutes. I hope I can shave it down to at least 35 by cutting out all the parts where I'm quiet. But thank you all so much for the questions. I think it might take a day or two for me to figure out which questions I enjoyed the most, so I'll message you when I find out which one I like, and I should send you a gift card. Anything that can get a digital code for. So if you want a gift card for Steam, if you want a gift card for League of Legends, if you want a gift card for Amazon or whatever, just let me know and I'll send that to you. But to everyone else, thank you so much for watching, and again, thank you so much for just the amazing past couple of weeks I've had on YouTube. It's so amazing to just wake up every morning and see like 100 comments and seeing just how much my channel's growing. Like, oh, I wake up one day, I'm at 30.5k subs, now I'm at 31k subs, now I'm at 32k subs. Like, I can see the growth, it's just tremendous. I hope I can keep it up. There might be probably another period in time where my channel kind of stagnates for a while, but it's just amazing. I can't imagine. I know it's kind of cheesy, and a lot of YouTubers say this. They'd say like, oh, I never imagined I would be here or I would make it this far, but it's true. No one really expects to get, like, you know, no one starts a YouTube channel and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna hit 1 million subs in a day, don't worry. It comes as a surprise, and it usually comes very quickly, and I'm experiencing it firsthand. So thank you, I really appreciate it, and I hope I can continue to entertain. I'll do my best to produce good content, I'll do my best to improve on my content, and who knows, maybe in the future. It's still very early. This new chapter in my life is still very, very much young, and I don't want to get too excited. I still want to stay prudent, I want to stay focused, but I'm really happy with how 2021 is going so far. Knock wood, of course. Okay, so let's not drag on the video that much longer. I'll end it off here. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, a rating would be much appreciated, and yeah, I guess that's it. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon for the next video. Take care.